it smells so good. I love Mexican food. I'd never even heard of real meals before starting my research for this project, and I'm so bloody excited that I did find it because they are delicious. Food is an extremely personal choice when you're out on the trail, and I wanted to do a series where I looked at all the foods I could possibly get my hands on. On some hikes, I really do see food as fuel to get me through from A to B and to get the job done. When I get the time, I do a heap of dehydrating, and I love doing that part of it, but often I don't get the chance, and so that's why I wanted to dig into the commercially available hiking foods and have a little chat about the pros and cons of each. I'm doing a whole series on food for hiking, including commercially available products and snacks. And if you need any more info, I've got a guidebook available on my website. I'll chuck the link to it down below. And it goes into nutrition, suggestions for food, the whole kit and caboodle, everything I can sort of pour out of me on food, I've chucked in there. It's from New Zealand. Be sure if you are ordering from Australia, do not select any of the items that have pork. Their mashed potato has pork on top of it, bacon, and Australian Customs bounced that, but I did get the rest of them through in my package. The big thing for me for freeze-dried meals is they're extremely lightweight. The freeze-drying process takes out so much more moisture than any other process there is on the market, and they also last a really long time. The other thing I absolutely love about freeze-dried meals is they're super quick to make. Basically just boil your water, chuck it on, give it a stir, and let it sit there for 5 or 10 minutes. Freeze-dried meals tend to lock the nutrients in much better than any other process. They're probably not the cheapest on the market, but I think, you know, if you're going out for a couple of nights, it's nice to treat yourself and have that just absolutely delicious meal when you're sitting in camp. I'm not getting any kickbacks for this. I wish I was, because they're bloody delicious, and I think they're going to be huge in Australia. So basically what I did when I started this research, I emailed these people and said, hey, I'd love to have a chat and what makes your food so beautiful. And the bloke here on the back of the cover, this is Nathan, and we had a nice little Skype chat, and it became very clear to me that this dude is so passionate about food and nutrition. He is a 7-time adventure racing world champion, which is pretty hardcore stuff. And he basically just got sick of eating that boring, bland, freeze-dried meals when he was out there on all of these adventures. And he said, there's got to be a better way. And so he started talking to a nutritionist and talking to his chefs and being like, well, why does freeze-dried food taste so bad? And basically the chef that he was talking to just said, no, well, it's just what they're putting in there. If you put in this 5-star, beautiful chef-designed meal into a freeze dryer, that's exactly what you'll get out. And so he was like astounded, and I personally was too, because I have had a lot of freeze-dried meals in the past. I think they're getting better, but I have had a lot of freeze-dried meals in the past that taste terrible and definitely upset my tummy and don't really agree with me. So I'm pretty excited to be cracking out a few of these. He actually started making them just for his like enduro race mates and sort of community, and then, you know, the demand was there and people started asking more and more and more, and so it just grew out of this little town in New Zealand, and he's getting bigger and bigger, and I'd love to see them one day with actual distribution in Australia, because at the moment you have to buy from the New Zealand website, which is fine. It flicks pretty quickly to AU dollars, so you know what you're spending. Obviously postage is a little bit more. So the dinners range from about 450 to 700 calorie serves, which I think is pretty darn great and on the money for sort of the amount of calories I want in a dinner when I'm out on the trail. They also have some pretty cool like mashed potatoes with bacon, but don't buy those if you're in Australia. And this one, I love the look of this one. This is beetroot and carrot salad, but even that has sort of like a pretty impressive calorie load. The packs weigh about 130 to 140 grams with all the the packaging and the product. They've also got a few of the cool things like a few treats, the chocolate cake pudding and things like that for on the trail. And they've got these yummy sort of porridges and bircher mueslis for breakfast. Probably I'm more of a make my own muesli because the cost of these starts to add up. But what I did find on a recent hike, I loved eating these for lunch. So I just would put cold water in them, give them a stir, and then eat them for lunch. They even make a kids range, which I'm pretty excited about for my daughter. She's just getting into hiking at 2 years old. It's always good to have a delicious treat, and snacks are the keys when you're getting kids out there. Really simple, preservative-free, natural products, and he feeds them to his kids, so I'm pretty comfortable to feed them to me. He's like the fittest dude I've ever seen. Super easy to prepare. Basically, you boil the water, tip it in, give it a stir, and wait 10 minutes. So let's do it. The thing I love about that with freeze-dried pouches is that there's no dirty pots to be cleaning up. You're not getting product caught on the bottom with your gas cooker burning the crap out of the base of your pot and scratching off this black sort of terrible carcinogenic product. 250 ml boiling water, mix thoroughly 30 seconds, reseal and wait 10 minutes. Oh, it's actually got the corn chips in there. That's cool. Ha! Okay, tip him in. Far out, look at that. Looks pretty good. So this is a veggie one, but they do meat ones. So I'm giving this a bash and if I had some Tabasco sauce right now, I'd be the happiest person alive.